welcome to this recap of the Survivor Series live on YouTube.com. It is Golden MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. Dee Dee Woodson will not be with us tonight due to work commitments beyond her control. And ladies and gentlemen, it was well, if you're a Monday Night Raw fan, just sit down and enjoy the show. If you're a SmackDown fan, you're probably at your nearest bar right now wondering what in the hell just happened tonight after winning the pre-show fight many people think was going to be a precursor, maybe a prelude to maybe the rest of the night. An avalanche hit that none of us saw. It was emphatically, literally a red wave. You know, we talk about red waves and blue waves in politics, and we got a blue wave in the front of how the Democrats took the House and nearly took the Senate, but whatever. But they took the House in outstanding numbers. Tonight, a red wave just crushed SmackDown Live. I know a lot of people were really upset with the booking of the show. And guys, it wasn't even close. It was a wipeout. 6-0 wipeout of SmackDown Live. We're going to get into all of that here tonight, and we're just going to dive right in. We start off with the pre-show fight, the 10-man tag team elimination match. Anthony was very high on this fight, and rightfully so. It was Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, and when it was all said and done, SmackDown wins because the Usos were the last team standing. They knocked out the Revival, as it was the Revival that was the last tag team standing for Monday Night Raw. And, oh man, Anthony Florio, come on in. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it because I didn't see none of the Survivor Series because I had work commitments beyond my control. But definitely the only lone bright spot for SmackDown Live. I honestly thought it was going to be one of these 4-3 affairs, but why don't you give SmackDown the credit it's due? We knew they had the best tag team division on the shows. They confirmed it and then some.
Oh, of course. And yes, hello friends. You're ridiculously over brother Anthony Florio, and forgive me if I have a little spring in my step this evening. I mean, wow, I was not expecting that whatsoever. But as far as the tag team elimination match goes, MF, I mean, I got to give this about 3.25 to 3.5 stars. It was sloppy early, but then it turned into a good and really fun match, thanks to the second half of the bout with a few wild spots and that closing stretch with the Usos and the Revival. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing those two go at it down the road. I mean, I would love to see a tag feud with those two. I mean, that would be hella fun. But hey, at least they made the Revival actually look good for once. That was good. But nonetheless, I mean, credit to SmackDown for getting it done. I mean, I mean, the SmackDown tag division, we all knew is far better than Monday Night Raw. And man, I mean, I knew the Usos were going to win. I'm kind of surprised New Day didn't win with them. I thought Usos and New Day were both going to go over, but no, they only gave it to the Usos there. So Usos just go to show that they are the best tag team right now. And if we had a Wrestling Forum Award for Tag Team of the Year, they would definitely be high on our list, if not the actual winner. So, well, at least for this moment, it was welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary. Enjoy it all, SmackDown fans, including, I don't want to name any names, MF. But nonetheless, this was your moment in the sun here. So enjoy it because, well, the dark clouds are on the horizon. That's all I can say on that. So 3.25 to 3.5. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this 10-on-10 traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. SmackDown wins it with the Usos, and Bullock. As soon as you get in, our man, our favorite referee, he was our favorite referee on it. Danilo and Fabio. Yes, so nice. We got to see him twice. We'll get into that later, but
yeah, we'll get into the other one.
But how about that 10-on-10? The only who would have thought this was going to be the only bright spot for SmackDown? I'm still scratching my head, but yet I'm as giddy. I'm as giddy as I was last year. Woo!
Yeah, I think we may have to have that that smile surgically removed from you with the way it went tonight. I mean, I'm still in shock too. I mean, we thought it'd be close, but yeah, as far as this tag team elimination match goes, I mean, I'll say about 3.5 stars. I mean, this was definitely a good way to get the Survivor Series. To give the fans a little taste of what's to come for Survivor Series. I mean, the Usos. I mean, they certainly proved why they are the best tag team and why SmackDown has the best tag team. Yeah, I mean, and SmackDown fans thought that this was going to be the beginning of a big night for them, but little did they know what they would expect when it comes to the main card. So nothing more to say. Let's get into the main card of this Survivor Series.
And we jump it off with the women's 5-on-5 elimination Survivor Series matchup. Team Raw. It was Nia Jax, Tamina Snuka, Mickie James, and a couple of surprises. Sasha Banks and Bayley actually were on the squad. Natalya out. Ruby Riott out after a little brouhaha in the back. Basically led to a brawl, and it went. And on the other side, SmackDown Live had Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, and the 15 member, the elusive 15 member, it ended up being Mandy Rose as the 5th member. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and sole survivor, Nia Jax, representing Monday Night Raw, 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Raw wins the matchup. Anthony Floyo, go ahead. This is the ultimate head scratcher for me. I guess regardless of the so-called backstage heat that Nia Jax had for breaking Becky Lynch's nose and everything else, she still gets the Duke nonetheless.
MF, she not only got the Duke, she got nuclear heat. Did you hear that, crowd? That was an IWC crowd. Let me tell you something. Becky Lynch is the princess of the IWC. Let's not kid ourselves. The minute Nia Jax, from the moment she came out to the minute, anytime she had a, offense in the match, nuclear heat. That is all I am going to say. I mean, they timed her heel turn perfectly. I mean, perfect heel turn moment there. I mean, well, when they turned her heel about a week or so ago on Monday Night Raw, when they had her turn on Ember Moon and form that alliance with Tamina, I mean, tonight it worked to perfection, and especially after what happened last Monday night when she broke Becky Lynch, now being known as the hashtag face breaker. I mean, oh my gosh, I mean that was John Cena, Roman Reigns, go away X-Pac heat. That's what Nia Jax got tonight. But MF, you gotta hear that crowd go after her. She absolutely got crucified. That is all I'm going to say on that. So, but nonetheless, getting into this matchup here. We're gonna give this. Before I give you a rating, let me just say it like this: Nia Jax winning made sense since she is challenging Ronda Rousey soon, but she did next to nothing and continues to fail to impress. I mean, I guess it's good that she had heat on her for the Becky injury. The crowd hated her, but yeah, outside of Nia, there was almost no heat for this. Most of the action was flat, and you know, I wouldn't call it bad. I would just say it was all right for me. It did have some moments, but boy, howdy, I mean, whew, that's all I can say on that. I mean, I still can't get over that nuclear heat that Nia got, but I will give this about 2 to 2.5, maybe even 2 and 3. I mean, I can't go any higher than 2 3/4. I mean, that's pretty much the highest I can go. I'll give it about 2.5, 2 3/4. I'll put it that way. I mean, it could have been better considering the talent involved. I mean, I liked the last minute additions of Bayley and Sasha Banks. What happened was there was a moment on the kickoff show. There was a backstage moment. Alexa Bliss was trying to rally the troops, if you will, and there was an altercation with Ruby Riott and Natalya. Ruby Riott, basically talked about the sunglasses that she broke, the Neidhart sunglasses, and Natty was PO'd, and they ended up having a brawl. And Alexa's like, if you two can't get along, I'm gonna throw you off the team, and that's exactly what she did. So Ruby and Natty out, Sasha and Bayley in, but it didn't matter because it was Nia who stood tall for Monday Night Raw. So 2.5, 2 3/4. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. I mean, did you hear that heat for Nia Jax? Wow.
How could you not hear that? I mean, holy smokes. I mean, she got booed big time by that crowd, and you know what? And rightfully deserving of it. I mean, for breaking the news of the IWC darling Becky Lynch, and it seems as though she enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll give it about 2.5 stars. I mean, it did feel a little flat during the whole time, but the only thing Nia did was just those leg drops. But other than that, I mean, literally couldn't do much. But the thing is, I mean, it was just ultimate and savagery, but Nia didn't care. It's almost like she enjoyed doing what she did to Becky Lynch, and showed no remorse in it. And yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. 2.5 stars. Let's just move right along to our next matchup.
And it's the battle of the secondary champions. The Intercontinental Champion representing Monday Night Raw, the Kingslayer, Seth Rollins. Anthony Florio calls him the heartbeat of Raw, the workhorse of Raw, going up against United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, representing SmackDown Live. The winner of the bout in 21 minutes and 50 seconds. It was the Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins, and on the official scoreboard, 2-1 to Monday Night Raw. Michael Bullock, you lead off on this match. The Kingslayer took down the artist formerly known as Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes, he did, and what a match this turned out to be. I mean, I gotta give kudos to both men here. I mean, they really put on an awesome match here. I'll give it about where do I put this? I'll give it an even 4 stars. I mean, this was just awesome. I mean, both men definitely deserve the credit. I mean, we had some Shakespearean drama here, and nothing more to say for me. I mean, great job by both men. Raw comes out on top again. 4 stars, and Florio. I mean, this turned out to be one heck of a match.
Surprised much? No.
I mean,
I'm
what
not
else
at
would
all.
you? I mean, what else would you expect? I mean, Seth Rollins always puts on good matches, and he certainly put Nakamura over.
Of course. Of course. I mean, those two had a hell of fun match. I mean, I'll meet you. I'll meet you just about there, Bullock. I'm gonna give this about. I'll make this 3.5 to 4 stars. Maybe 3 3/4 to 4. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that we didn't get any Dean Ambrose involvement here, and that this was just a straight up match. And as for the match, it was very good. Shinsuke felt motivated while Seth continues to make the best out of every opponent he is given. You wonder why, MF, that there was one nickname that you, and it's the most important of them all. He is the frontline soldier of Monday Night Raw. You know me. You know what my hashtag and my mantra nowadays is. Soldier up. And that's exactly what Seth Rollins did tonight, just like he has done for Monday Night Raw throughout 2018. And there's no doubt about it. He is our MVP of Monday Night Raw for the year. I mean, man alive. I mean, it was a little too long, but other than that, it would have been better with a little bit of some time trim. But other than that, it was very good and enjoyable. I mean, we were not disappointed at all. We knew we were going to get something really good here. Not quite the fight of the night, but still, MF, this was a great match. I mean, some great near falls. It was a little slow early, but then it really got going. And Seth Rollins during the match mocked Shinsuke Nakamura doing Shinsuke's infamous little "come on." Oh, that was awesome. But nonetheless, so we saw some Kinshasas, we saw some Suicidas, and of course it was the curb stomp by Seth Rollins that won the match. And there you have it. So another win from Monday Night Raw. Get used to it, folks. This is the theme of the night. So, and now it was announced later in the evening. It was announced that we got our first match set for TLC, gentlemen, next month, December the 16th, at the SAP Center in San Jose, the Shark Tank. Seth Rollins will defend the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship against Dean Ambrose. Just dwell on that for a moment. What do you think of that, MF?
That's going to be one heck of a match. That's going to be one hell of a fight. Like you said, I don't understand why Dean did not come in. I really thought this would have been SmackDown's best chance of stealing a fight.
Absolutely.
If Dean Ambrose would have shown up, I think Nakamura could have won it. But, you know,
would have.
It is what it is, man. I mean, there's nothing more to say. So the next fight of the night was the battle for the tag team champions, Sheamus and Cesaro with the Big Show versus the Authors of Pain and Drake Maverick. The winners of the bout in 9 minutes was the AOP. They get the victory, and at the time, Raw was up 3-1. Now I was thinking, all right, that means literally SmackDown would have to pull the inside straight. They would need to win the Survivor Series match, win the Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte fight, and they would have to win Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan to win the series, to literally come back and win the series. I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking we might have a shot at the men's Survivor Series match, but the final two would have been. I was thinking that's going to be so tough to pull off, especially Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. I was like, unless Becky Lynch shows up, maybe costs Ronda the fight, that's the only way I could think of it. And then you would need some major league shenanigans in order for Brock to win. but man, it was almost an impossible feat to happen. It was literally, you literally had to pull the inside straight to get it. So we'll see. Anthony Floyo, it's yours. The AOP gets I guess you could say it was a shock victory because I did not have them winning this fight, honestly.
Maybe you didn't, MF, but I did. Hey, no disrespect to the bar. You know, I'll always love and appreciate what the bar did on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, second year in a row, they come up short in the battle of the tag teams, and once again, the AOP continues to roll. And but unfortunately, this was the worst fight of the night here. I can only give this about 1 to 2 stars. I mean, yeah. Yes, I was happy AOP won, of course, but at the same time, I was also upset because, I was expecting a very physical, smash mouth, be a man type fight. Yeah, not so much here. But other than that, I mean, AOP winning the match. We were wondering if we were going to get a moment with Drake Maverick in the Big Show. Oh, we got a moment, all right. We got a moment, all right. I don't know if MF, if you heard about this. But then again, maybe you didn't hear about this because you had your work commitments. But
I heard about it, and thank God, please don't bring it up.
You did hear about it. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say Drake Maverick had a little accident, if you know what I mean. So we'll just park it there. But other than that, that was pretty much the only low light from Monday Night Raw this evening. If Drake Maverick having a little accident was the only moment, only low, then, well, that just goes to show you how rough it was, for how rough water it was for SmackDown Live this evening. So, but nonetheless, 1 to 2, I can only say it was the worst fight of the night. So, utter disappointment. I really wanted to see that be a man type fight, but I thought for sure we were going to get one, but unfortunately, not so much here. But of course, I'm happy with the outcome. I don't know what else there is to say. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this battle of the tag team champions. Worst fight of the night. About one, maybe 2 for the effort, but Drake Maverick, man, what in the world was that about?
Yeah, to me, I'm only going to give it 1 star. I mean, this was just flat out disappointing. I mean, worst fight of the night, and yeah, Drake Maverick, what the heck were you thinking doing what you did? I'm just going to leave it at that. So let's just move on. I really got nothing more to say about it.
All right, and we take a break from the Survivor Series Raw versus SmackDown action as we got a nice little place setter right in the middle of it. The WWE Cruiserweight Championship of the World on the line. The champion, Buddy Murphy, goes up against Mustafa Ali, the winner of the bout, in 12 minutes and 20 seconds, and still the Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Buddy Murphy. Anthony Florio, Michael Blake, normally you don't talk about it, so I'm going to let Anthony Florio talk about it. He is definitely the Mr. 205 Live on this show. Florio, you must have been absolutely enthusiastic and very impressed with these men. Many people calling it one of the best fights, if not the fight of the night, in many circles. Florio?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm here.
All right.
So I'm not gonna do this with a show. Fuck.
Floyo, we can hear you, man.
All right.
Yeah, Florida, we can hear you.
Okay, you can. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I just wanted to be sure. All right. Hashtag it's a chance. That was my mantra. The minute they announced this match, I mean, needed to the pre-show because WWE has usually not given the cruiserweights an opportunity on pay-per-view, but this time they did, and was going to be good. Why am I saying I can't believe it? These two, Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali, like this. These two have such a great chemistry. It's undeniable, and they delivered one hell of a cruiserweight championship match. I mean, not quite the 5-star effort they put in earlier this year. That no disqualification match that they had on the show, and I think that was like the end of April into May sometime this year. I mean, which is a match I still say you should go out of your way to see, but you also got to go out of your way to see this one. And Bullock, our favorite referee, he was at it again. Mr. Danilo and Fabio.
Danilo and Fabio.
So nice. We got Danilo and Fabio. Yes, sir. We got to see it.
And we got to see something else tonight
during this. And yeah, you texted me and I texted you back saying, "So nice, we get to see him twice."
Oh, we just lost him.
All right, I'm here. All right, unfortunately, we did lose Anthony. So which is the minute we get Floyo back, we'll let him continue his thought. And all right, so let's do it. The next fight of the evening was the men's Survivor Series elimination matchup. Team Raw had Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Finn Balor. Team SmackDown had The Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout and survivors of the Survivor Series matchup was Team Raw. They win it as Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley were the winners of the match in 24 minutes, which meant Monday Night Raw claims victory in the Survivor Series at the time, 4-1 over SmackDown Live. Michael Bullock, it is all yours, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, the only one that was eliminated for Monday Night Raw was Finn Balor, but other than that, I mean, it was just total domination. Well, domination by the monster among men, Braun Strowman, who did most of the damage. And yeah, I mean, I'll give it about 2.5. I'll give it about 2.5 to 3 for the effort here. I mean, it was good, but there were times that it did feel a little slow at times, but still was. I thought it was still good for what it was in the time it got. But after the match, our favorite guy, yeah, right, Baron Corbin, cheap shot at Braun Strowman. Well, yeah, good try on that, Baron Corbin, because Fletch, you know what's going to happen to Baron Corbin now that he's done this?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get these hands.
And we actually got Anthony Floyo back in the building. Anthony, we were just talking about the men's Survivor Series matchup. You didn't really miss much. Team Raw wins it. Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, the survivors, and that cemented the Raw victory for this year's Survivor Series in 2018. At the time, a 4-1 victory. Like I said, it ended in 5.
Yeah, yes, it did end in 5. Oh my goodness. When did I time out? When did I time out there? Because I wanted to, finish off my thought on the cruiserweights there.
Actually, you could go right ahead. You could take a quick moment and finish off on the cruiserweight, and then just dive right into the Survivor Series match. Go right ahead.
Yeah, that was, like I said, it was 4 to 4.25 stars for the cruiserweight match. I mean, Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali, the chemistry is undeniable, and give cruiserweights a chance. And I want to see the cruiserweights on pay-per-view more, not just on 205 Live. They deserve a chance on pay-per-view, and Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali demonstrated why exactly cruiserweights deserve a chance on pay-per-view. That's all there is to say on that. I mean, proud papa moment for me. This goes back to the Cruiserweight Classic in 2016, which TJP won, as we all know. But Murphy and Ali, they stole the show here tonight. I mean, that was one of the fights of the night, without a doubt, hands down. So go out of your way to see it, and hopefully it's big. Hopefully it's bigger and better, and onward and upward for 205 Live. So give Cruiserweights a chance. That's all there is to it, and they did it. I'm happy. So well done, Buddy Murphy. Well done, Mustafa Ali. Well done. That's all there is to say on that. Men's traditional Survivor Series elimination match.
And just to let you know, Florio, I gave it 2.5 to 3. I don't know how you feel.
The Survivor match, right?
Yeah.
Slight disagreement here. I'm going to give this about 3 to 3.25. Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe started off, and I cannot believe that Samoa Joe locks in our favorite move, Bullock. You know the one. The Coquita Clutch. Yeah.
The Coquita Clutch.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that. But Drew McIntyre tagged in, and he broke free and hit the Claymore for a quick fall. And who would have thought that Samoa Joe was going to be eliminated first and very quickly? I couldn't believe it. But nonetheless, it was all about Braun Strowman. That's what this was. This was basically a showcase for Braun Strowman. 4 eliminations, tying Roman Reigns' mark from 2013 when he had 4 eliminations in that traditional Survivor Series match, which he was the sole survivor for. But Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley get the Duke, and but nonetheless, though, I mean, not the greatest traditional Survivor Series match, but at the same time, it was one of the wildest and craziest. I mean, Shane O'Mac with 2 coast-to-coasts, and then, of course, he also did his dive through the announce table on Strowman, which was amazing. And Mysterio looked good. I mean, Miz had a great outing. Finn Balor had some good moments in this match, but Braun Strowman, that's all there is to it. This was the showcase for Braun Strowman. He completely picked apart Team SmackDown Live. I mean, it kind of reminded me of that infamous Big Show moment in 1999 when he went 4-on-1 alone and knocked out that entire team, that Big Boss Man led team with Mideon, Viscera, and Prince Albert back in '99. Strowman easily could have done that to SmackDown Live 5-on-1. They could have easily have done that, but no. I'm glad it wasn't all about Strowman. I'm glad that Drew McIntyre, was one of the survivors. I'm kind of surprised Lashley was a part of that as well. I mean, I thought if Raw was going to win, it was going to be Braun Strowman and or Drew McIntyre who was going to come out on top. But the monster among men, 4 eliminations. He was definitely the star of the match, and that's all there is to say on that. A wild and crazy match, but I mean, a lot of action, a lot of spot fest in this, but nonetheless, It was all about the monster. And MF, you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but Team SmackDown Live, they got these hands tonight. And I couldn't be any more delighted with that. So 3 to 3.25 stars. There's really nothing more to say except Raw, Braun Strowman. Let's move on.
Yes, indeed. It was indeed a Raw. The next thing we had was basically SmackDown. It was SmackDown representative Charlotte Flair fighting on the behalf of the SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch, going up against Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey, and the winner of the bout in 14 minutes and 40 seconds was Ronda Rousey, but Ronda won the fight by disqualification because Charlotte Flair basically went nuclear and beat the living crap out of Ronda Rousey with a kendo stick, wore her out, and then beat her down with a steel chair. Basically, she didn't care about the scoreboard. She didn't care about she didn't care about the Team SmackDown. Charlotte Flair, she went out with one mission and one mission only. She went to destroy the Raw Women's Champion and did not give a damn how she was going to do it. I gotta say it, mission complete. She laid out Ronda Rousey. She gave her one of the worst beatdowns she's ever had in WWE, and let alone one of the worst beatdowns I've ever seen Ronda take, even in MMA. And trust me, she was knocked out by Holly Holm one time with that infamous kick to the face in Australia. And then Amanda Nunes messed up Ronda Rousey pretty badly once before. And this time around, Charlotte Flair basically took a page out of Becky Lynch's book, and basically she went all man on Ronda Rousey and beat the living daylights out of her. If you want a big bright spot, a big spotlight on SmackDown Live, Charlotte Flair left you with the most indelible mark. Yes, she might have lost the fight. Yes, she lost by DQ, but she took a piece of the Raw Women's Champion. At that point, we were like, you know what? F this. We lost the series. Now we're going for blood. And boy, did they take some blood on Ronda Rousey tonight. Oof. It's all I can say. And the fans in LA, they let it known very well. Thank you, Charlotte. How the hell do you think of that? After all the garbage that Charlotte Flair was getting from the IWC because of Becky Lynch, all of a sudden now the fans are basically just it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The fans actually were on the side of Charlotte Flair, and they got so freaking bloodthirsty they wanted Charlotte to go more with her. Well, welcome to the IWC, folks. And LA, you're welcome. All right, who leads off? I believe it goes to
Anthony leads off.
It goes to Anthony.
Yes, it does.
All right, Florio. Yes, Raw gets the win, but oh my God, Ronda Rousey, bow to the queen, Charlotte Flair.
Well, this is the only other bright spot for SmackDown Live tonight, in addition to the Usos winning the tag team elimination match during the kickoff show. The only main card moment for SmackDown Live, and it had to come in the form of a heel turn. And the never-ending heel turns continue. I mean, over the last few months, we've seen at least 5 or 6 monumental heel turns. not counting Shinsuke Nakamura's heel turn at WrestleMania. But since Becky Lynch turned at SummerSlam, I mean, we saw her turn heel. Go to NXT, we had Johnny Gargano turn heel. And then, of course, last month when we went to Raw in Providence, we saw that up close and personal with Dean Ambrose. And last Tuesday night on SmackDown Live with Daniel Bryan turning heel, and now Charlotte Flair, another heel turn. That's a good 5 or 6 in the last 3 months. I mean, unreal. I mean, the only downside of this, DQ finish, but here's the thing. DQ finishes, we always frown upon them. But this is one of the rare times where the DQ finish played very well. And let's be realistic. Heel Charlotte Flair is what's best for business. I mean, she is much better as a heel than a babyface, especially when she was dominating Monday Night Raw when this whole thing started. But nonetheless, this was a great, hard-hitting match, really dirty in a real fight feel kind of way. And after dropping off match quality-wise following the win over Asuka, Charlotte has been really good since the feud with Becky Lynch, and I really love how different Rousey feels compared to the rest of the division because so many of the women's matches feel the same, but her matches are always different. I think a rematch would be even better, and this gives Rousey future matches. Of course, you know, she still has Nia Jax waiting in the weeds at very likely TLC. Who knows? Maybe we get to see her and Charlotte go at it again. Maybe at the Royal Rumble. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. And then, of course, the dream fight, Becky Lynch, and the dirt sheets going around are saying that Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch could go down at WrestleMania 35, and not only go down at WrestleMania 35, but could end up being the main event of WrestleMania 35. And if that happens, that's the victory of victories for the women's evolution. That's all there is to say on that. So, or the women's revolution. So, they main event WrestleMania. That's the victory of victories right there. So, and I would not be opposed whatsoever. So, man, unbelievable. You can make an argument this was the fight of the night. I mean, social media blowing up, and Charlotte Flair on her Twitter basically said this: "Boo the woo, screw you." That's it. So if that's not a full-fledged heel turn, I don't know what is. So let the heel turns continue, folks. That's all there is to say on that. Becky Lynch, Johnny Gargano, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, now add Charlotte Flair to the mix. So
yeah, you talk about an ultimate in savagery, what Charlotte did.
That was the most vicious I've ever seen. That's the most vicious Charlotte Flair. I mean, you should have heard commentary. Corey Graves was even getting on her. Everybody was getting on her. I mean, but Corey Graves, he was like, Charlotte should be arrested for what she did this evening. And
not just what she did to Ronda Rousey, but what she did to the referees.
It kind of reminded me of Diesel. Remember Diesel's heel turn in '95 after losing the title to Bret Hart? Remember when he went to town on all the officials?
Well, at least she didn't attack our boy.
The other one, yeah, he got lucky. He got
because if he did, I would have gone off on her.
Yeah, for the first time in a couple of years. I mean, because once upon a time, Bullock, you hated Charlotte Flair with a passion, but boy, howdy, I mean,
all I can say is how is Paige going to respond to this?
What's Becky Lynch thinking? I mean, are you sure that wasn't Becky? I mean, are you sure that it wasn't Becky Lynch wearing a Charlotte Flair mask a la Scooby-Doo? All right, let's see who you really are. Why, it's Becky Lynch. Yeah. So.
No, that was Charlotte Flair.
Well, Becky basically gave her the marching orders. She told her, do what I would have done to Ronda Rousey. Finish the job for me. Let me tell you, Becky, wherever you are, sweetheart, Charlotte not only did you proud, she did what you told her out to do. Yeah, she didn't get the victory, but she took a piece of the Raw Women's Champion. In my mind, the job was done. There's nothing more for us to say here. There's
moral
nothing.
victory. A moral victory for SmackDown Live.
Not
Moral
really a moral victory. Not really a moral victory because of the fact that at that point the series was already over. You guys already clinched it in the Men's Survivor Series matchup. So
Right.
technically, all this stuff after didn't really mean anything to us.
No.
Scoreboard wise, it's a point for Monday Night Raw. But the thing is, does Ronda Rousey feel like a winner tonight? Absolutely not.
No way.
She got
no
left.
way.
Kendo stick.
She got left.
Kendo stick.
And the ultimate in savagery, a steel chair right on the neck. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, a natural. Yeah, she hit her with a kendo stick. Took kendo stick to the gut. And then natural selection. And then, Charlotte meleeed the kendo stick all over Ronda. And then natural selection on the steel chair. And then the ultimate insult. Wrapping the chair around Ronda's head and neck. And then stomping on it and crushing the neck of Ronda Rousey. The most savage we've ever seen Charlotte Flair. And I'll be interested to see what happens come Tuesday night. And could you imagine Charlotte and Becky as a heel tag team? Whoa.
And what is General Manager Paige going to do about Charlotte's actions?
They ain't sipping tea no more, boys.
I don't now that's going to be very interesting to see, because not only will what will Becky do, not what will Paige do, but what about Shane McMahon? What is he going to get involved in this as well? Because I mean, that was savagery and then some. I know Stephanie is not, in one way, maybe she might think, good, that's going to knock a couple of pegs off of Ronda Rousey. She's not as invincible, but still, you might have just put the Raw Women's Champion on the shelf for at least a couple of weeks. If I'm Stephanie McMahon, I am livid tonight at Charlotte Flair, and I know she's going to be begging the WWE Board of Directors, or even begging Shane for some kind of repercussions or some kind of punishment for Charlotte Flair.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do give her some kind of punishment, because I'm pretty sure Paige and Shane will be like, look, we wanted you to represent SmackDown Live with pride. This is not the way we represent.
I don't know. I think Shane might actually. I don't think Shane, because if you notice, Shane's kind of gotten a little more cockier, a little more arrogant, a little more heel-like. I think Shane's gonna let this by. I think Paige might lay down the law on her and say, you can't do that. But I think Shane might let her be and just say, hey, that was it's all war. You know, in war, there's always casualties. Sorry, Ronda. You're collateral damage in our minds. So, who knows?
You're damaged goods.
Pretty much. But we'll wait and see what happens.
But go ahead and finish, Florio.
Yeah. I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, another epic heel turn. I mean, these heel turns over the last month or so have been unbelievable. I mean, man, I think this has been the best year for heel turns I've ever seen. I mean, Shinsuke at Mania, Becky at SummerSlam, Gargano in NXT, Ambrose, as we saw in Providence last month, and Daniel Bryan last week on SmackDown Live when he won the title. But this one, I mean, this is one of those like internet meme things. I mean, Shinsuke could start it by saying, I had heel turn of year. Me no speak English. And then Becky be like, yeah, Shin, hold my beer. And then Gargano's like, no, you hold my beer. And then Dean Ambrose like, no, you all hold my beers. Daniel Bryan, nope, hold mine. And then Gerald's like, no, you all hold mine and bow down to the queen. I could probably say that might have been the heel turn of the year right there. All of them were epic, but what Charlotte did tonight, I think right now it's a 1A and 1B between her and Dean Ambrose. I think those were the two best heel turns of the year so far.
I agree. I mean, you could talk about Shinsuke, the low blow after congratulating AJ for winning the title. Poor AJ Styles. I just realized AJ's been the victim of 2 heel turns in 1 year.
That's right.
Think
Right.
about it.
WrestleMania,
And then Daniel, and then last Tuesday night, when Daniel Bryan steals the WWE title from AJ Styles.
Indeed.
Poor AJ Styles has been the victim of 2 heel turns this year already.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how to rank it. I could probably say this was the second best fight of the night for me. This was a solid 4 stars. It would have been like 4.25, 4.5, but the DQ finish, I gotta knock it down a bit. But this was still a 4-star match. I don't care what anybody says. So, to me, this was the second best fight of the night, and to me, between Charlotte and Dean, those were the 2 best heel turns of the year. That's all there is to say about that. I don't know which one was better, but we're gonna have to brainstorm that. But other than that, wow. And that's nothing more to say except the Queen is back.
And boy, get ready, SmackDown Live, because this could be fun now. We'll wait and see. All right, guys, main event.
Oh, what about me?
Sorry, Bullet. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just say it. Yeah, I'll say 4 stars. And yeah, this was the second best fight of the night. I mean, but man, Charlotte. I mean, holy smokes! It almost looked like the devil took over, and she basically went all over on Ronda Rousey after the match. I mean, there were times when, especially when she put that chair right on Ronda Rousey's neck and stomped on it. I'm like, holy crap! I hope her throat wasn't crushed that badly, and the crowd enjoyed it, saying thank you, Charlotte. I mean, and they basically booed Ronda Rousey off when she finally got off, and you gotta wonder. I mean, are there some people starting to hate on Ronda Rousey? I don't know.
Could a heel turn be imminent for Ronda Rousey?
Are they
starting to plant the seeds for Ronda to go heel?
Well,
could this be number 6, as Anthony would say?
Well, we've seen a lot of heel turns lately, and
I think we might be getting ready for one more.
But getting back to what you said, what between Dean and Charlotte's heel turn, I gotta quite say, I mean, Dean Ambrose's heel turn, I think, was more perfect, because the thing is, nobody saw it coming. I mean, because this was basically after when him and Seth Rollins won the Raw Tag Team titles. We were thinking this was such a great moment, and then all of a sudden, Dirty Deeds out of nowhere. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, 4 to 4.25 for me. So now let's get on to the main event.
And it was Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 18 minutes and 50 seconds was the WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Michael Bullock, you lead off. Lesnar wins.
Fight of the night for me. This is what it was, the fight of the night. 4.5 stars. I mean, what can you say? I mean, the match lived up to the billing. I mean, basically with Daniel Bryan first getting dominated by Brock Lesnar, and then he comes back with the low blow yet again, and then it looked like he was going to put the beast down, but nope. Lesnar certainly was in for a fight, and he certainly was. So, yeah, certainly a great way to close out the Survivor Series, and yeah, Brock Lesnar gets it done. So nothing more to say for me. 4.5 fight of the night for me, and Yeah, and Anthony Florio, Brock Lesnar was the one that made sure that he got the broom out for Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more, Bullock. This was the fight of the night. I mean, this went from a dud to a near 5-star classic. I mean, this was a good 4.5 stars. I definitely agree with Bullock's rating on this. I mean, I know Brock Lesnar gets a bad rap for, you know, not putting in the effort, not putting in the work. But this is one of those rare times where we can actually give him some praise. It was very refreshing to see Brock work like we know he can, still looking like a beast, but also selling, which he's great at when he wants to, and having a complete match that we can invest in and care about and take seriously. And Brock Lesnar ran wild early on in complete beast mode. I mean, notice the arena, Staples Center. I thought it was going to be a carbon copy of what he did to Daniel Bryan's former Bella brother, John Cena. I mean, we all remember SummerSlam 2014 and when Brock beat the absolute you-know-what out of John Cena. I mean, it was almost like that all over again. But Daniel Bryan came so close, and I mean, it was fitting and perfectly believable until Daniel Bryan hit the great equalizer in the low blow, made the big comeback, which got the crowd into it. And then D. Bryan ran wild, picked up believable near falls, had the crowd believing. This was almost like the NXT Championship match from last night's War Games event with the Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, Daniel Bryan was like the Velveteen Dream, and Brock Lesnar was like Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, there were those hope spots where we thought, oh my God, Daniel Bryan's actually going to do this. And I'm like, no, I want the shutout. I want the shutout. Thankfully, we got it. But Brock Lesnar eventually overcame. But Daniel Bryan looked great even in defeat, much like AJ Styles did against Lesnar last year in Houston. A great match that we definitely thoroughly enjoyed. And from a dud to an almost, keyword almost, 5-star classic. I mean, I thought it was going to be a dud, but it ended up being the show stealer. In the immortal words of JBL, call the LAPD because them boys just stole the damn show here tonight. So nothing more to say on that. 4.5 stars. Bullock hit it, nailed it absolutely perfectly. It would have been 5 if it wasn't for the Lesnar dominance early. But other than that, MF, what a main event. Let's just about put the finishing touches on this thing.
Overall review very quickly, guys. So just give me your thoughts. Anthony, you lead off.
I'm going to give this 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10 for this. Great Survivor Series. I mean, I didn't know what to expect going in, but this was an overall good and fun show. The traditional Survivor Series matches, they were solid but not overly spectacular, as well as the AOP against the Bar. I was expecting that be a man fight, a really hard-hitting be a man fight, but that disappointed. But then the rest was good to great. The Cruiserweights showed why they deserved the chance. They delivered. Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, they all delivered great outings. So I think 7.5 to 8, I think is the best rating for this because of the Survivor Series elimination matches and that tag team title battle. But Cruiserweights, the women, Charlotte and Ronda, that is, Bryan and Lesnar, and Nakamura and Rollins. I mean, all 4 of those matches were really good. And if those Survivor matches and the AOP bar fight had been better, then we could have been talking maybe 9, 9.5. But 7.5 to 8, I think is the best we can go. This definitely will rank up there as one of the greatest Survivor Series of all time. So, well done. Well done. Very wild and crazy night. And there's nothing more to say except, well, for all of you SmackDown Live fans, including good old MF Michael Fletcher, contrary to what he thinks, Monday Night Raw has always been the A show, and it will always be the A show. Michael Bullock, can you dig that?
Man, oh man, I mean, yeah, I'll give it about 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I mean, this was a good show. I mean, definitely. I mean, Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, the cruiserweights, all were good. I mean, the only bad thing was that tag team match. The Survivor Series elimination matches were good, but not great. But yeah, and also tonight, I mean, we saw in some of the YouTube videos somebody intruded the show, and it was Enzo Amore. I'm like, what the hell is that little twerp doing there? But thank goodness security got that little twerp out of there. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Overall, it was a really good show. 7.5 to 8, and yep, Raw certainly dominated the main card. So nothing more to say. Fletch, let's just put a bow on it.
All right, and tomorrow night, as always, Ridiculously Raw with Anthony Florio, and the fallout on the Monday Night Raw side of the Survivor Series. I definitely believed there's going to be a lot of gloating on the Raw end. Basically, like we said,
time, baby.
An absolute clean sweep of the Survivor Series on the main card. Tuesday night, Cerebral Smack Talk. I don't know what's going to happen now. I mean, all hell could break loose now, especially looking for answers, trying to figure out what on earth just happened with that one. And then, of course, Wednesday, a very special edition of Strictly Sports, as it's the football feast. All the college football action. We got the big ones, the biggest games of the year, the Iron Bowl. We got Michigan and Ohio State, and we got a whole lot more. 3 games on Turkey Day as well. And one game that's actually gotten even more exciting now than ever before, because now, after what happened today, that middle matchup, the Redskins and the Cowboys, literally could decide who wins the NFC East. No doubt about it. Whoever wins that game basically has the inside track to the NFC East. So we'll see on that one. And then Friday, of course, we'll cover the remaining games on the NFL docket. And that's it, guys. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern. And yes, please note it's 11 o'clock on the dot, because Raw's decided to go off the air at 11. So at 11, maybe 11:01, 11:02, depending, Anthony Floyo will be hosting Ridiculously Raw. So until then, for Anthony Floyo, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.